All right, beautiful souls, welcome to the Energy Center podcast. Dana Teresa here. It's so wonderful to have another guest in the studio today. This is episode number 43, and I'm really thrilled to have this person here. Her name is Rosio Martinez, and I had the incredible opportunity to be involved in an event that she hosted for the fall equinox just a few weeks ago. It was called the Mind Body Earth Celebration. And I got to go and share about the Akashic Records there and also provide some mini readings to the people that were there hanging out. And it was just such a beautiful experience to bring community together, to have people just come and experience spirituality, connection to the earth and our bodies in a new and different way. And through that process, I got to know Rocio a little bit better. We were kind of just like skirting around each other, floating around each other, I feel like, for the last few years. And so I finally had the opportunity to do a little work with her and collaborate with her. And it was so lovely. And Rocio is also a podcaster. She has her own podcast. She is an herbalist. She is an Ayurvedic practitioner. She does so many things, and I'm going to let her share all about that. But when I think about you, Rocio, I think about Earth Goddess, and I think about soulful community. So I'd love to just dive into those topics with you today. So thank you for being here, Rocio. It's so wonderful to have you.
Thank you so much for having me, Dana. I appreciate the introduction.
Yeah. You're so welcome. So I read your bio that you sent in when you were talking about just being a little girl and running around on the earth and connecting to the earth. And that really resonated with me. I feel like when I was a little girl, being a sensitive little girl, the earth felt like my home. The earth felt like it was nurturing me, and I didn't really even understand it until later in life that the earth was really protecting me and taking care of me. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about your story as a little girl connecting to the earth and how you developed this deep connection to the earth, because it is so integrated in the work that you offer today.
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up in Mexico. Well, we would go back and forth quite a bit from the States to Mexico, but yeah. I can remember, I think I was like 7 years old. I don't know. I was like in second grade, and we were living in a small town in Zacatecas, Mexico, and it's called El Chique. And if you know, you know. And you know, I didn't really, it's so interesting how memories work in the sense that like you're living your life and you really are not thinking in that retrospective perspective. Yeah. And then there's a moment that it kind of hits you. Yeah. And this memory just kind of really like came back to me live in full force, like about a year ago. Wow. And it was like when I was like really thinking about like my past and like what really got me interested in like herbalism and plants and all that. And I remember walking around El Monte, or like just the fields of like nopales, cactuses, and bougainvilleas, and I remember picking them. And I remember my mom would allow me to just go out unsupervised as a teen. And it was like as a second grader. And like I loved it so much. It was like my sense of peace, like I just loved it. I remember when I'd talk to the trees and like I'd pick the berries and like eat the berries as I was walking, and it's just been something so beautiful in my life. And I remember like my mom has been such a big influence on me in this perspective that she would never feed us any canned foods, any frozen foods, nothing. Everything was like fresh, homemade meals. And I feel so incredibly grateful for her to have introduced that into my life. And even now, like then, like, and then I feel like I totally forgot about all of this. Like, and then there was a point in my life where I was working a corporate job, was so stressed, anxious. I had like panic attacks every single morning. I would wake up and I would feel these like big palpitations of like, oh my God, what is happening?
Yeah.
What is happening? And I remember I don't even know how, but I stumbled on meditation somewhere. This was like, my mind was like business, busy, like nothing, you know. And I like tried to meditate for like a minute, and that was like eternal. I was like, what is this?
I know, when we first start meditating, it feels so hard.
It does. I remember like, you know, like I was sitting on my bathroom floor and I'm like looking like, you know, okay, a minute clock, and then it's like 10 seconds straight. And I was like, I close my eyes again. Oh, fuck. And that was like my first real introduction to this. And
Yeah.
And it was, then after that, I was like, oh, like, this helped.
Yeah.
This helped. It helped
Yes.
with the anxiety. It helped with the panic attacks. And then I remember getting, like, a yoga deck with, like, all these different poses.
Yeah.
And I would do, like, my goal was, like, I'll just do 5 poses.
Yeah.
Like, every morning. And that was my introduction to yoga. And then I was like, oh, my God, this is amazing. This feels so good. And I just went on a rabbit hole. All the things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I love how you just kind of followed what made you feel good, right? And it like opened up something inside of you. It opened up this curiosity. It opened the childlike mind, the inner child, right? Like I'm just visualizing you out among the cacti and like picking the berries and eating them. This tastes good. Ooh, this feels good. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to do more. And then you came into a space, and I feel like so many of us healers have this story where we get into a career or a job or a way of living in general that just doesn't feel good to our system, but we're doing it because we think that's what we are meant to do, because that's what everyone else is doing, or because it's the programming, right? You have to have a good job. You have to have a 9-to-5 job. You have to make this much money. You have to be busy all the time, right? And so we get just trapped and wrapped up in other people's ideas, social programming, all the things. And it doesn't feel good to us, but we're doing it anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's so important to see that and see like what are those beliefs that are mine and those that are just something that was taught to me. And you know, I grew up with not a lot of money. Like, and so my whole like mission in life was to be able to provide for myself and help my family. I remember like when we were younger, when I was younger.
Yeah.
My parents were older. They were old. I was young.
Yeah.
But I would sell like candy out of my house. I would, my mom would help me make like these like natural syrups, and I would sell like these ice cones to like all the kids around the neighborhood. And it was a way for me to make money. But at the same time, like I always had like this entrepreneurship kind of mindset, but it did come from a place of like, we don't have enough money. How is this? Like, how are we going to be able to provide? We can't stay in the States because we can't afford to live here, so we might as well move. And so, like, even through that trajectory of career, like, well, I got to find the way or the job that makes the most money. And then it's like, well, but am I happy doing that?
Yeah.
And, like, finding that, and we've talked about, like, a little bit about this, like, the finding that that abundance in the work that you do.
Yeah.
And, like, because I feel like there's something that I'm passionate about is, like, as a healer and someone in the like health and wellness space, as a yoga, like our belief and I guess trajectory has been of like, okay, we're giving so much away.
Yeah.
You know, free yoga classes, service, karma yoga, right? And that is so important and equally important. But I think that like if we do not fill our cups, how are we then able to share with everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is something that's so important. And it's also that old programming. We've been taught to do everything backwards, like take care of everyone else besides yourself. And then maybe if there's time at the end of the day, you can do a little something for yourself. And actually it works the opposite way. Like our cups have to be full in order for us to give back to other people. And I also feel like that is something that healers and leaders really need to embody, is that self-care, because when you are embodying that and being that self-care and compassion, then you're reflecting that to not only your clients, but everyone else around you. And then the programming can start to shift. The perspective can start to change. So I'd love for you to share more about just what you do. Let's talk about Ayurveda, because I feel like that has such a deep connection to the earth and the body and taking care of yourself with food, kind of what you mentioned at the beginning. So how did you find Ayurveda? And maybe just explain to the audience what Ayurveda is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say yoga found me, and then through that, I found Ayurveda.
Yeah, they call Ayurveda the sister science of yoga, right?
They do.
Yeah.
And, through this rabbit hole exploration, Ayurveda was like the natural next step. And so I found Ayurveda through an Instagram post. And it was an ad for a school. And the school is Maharishi International University.
Wow.
And so it's in Iowa. And so my husband and I went out there to visit and check out the school. It was like absolutely amazing, like organic meals and like big meditation dome and like sustainable architecture. Like it was like absolutely amazing. But then COVID happened. And so I was like, I can't. So I went online. But Ayurveda is, Ayu means life, and Veda means knowledge. And yeah.
You know what? I don't know if I ever put that together. Wow.
I love words.
Yes.
And breaking down words like that, because it's just so powerful.
It is so powerful. It has such deep meaning. Wow. If you just feel into that life knowledge, of course it means that. Wow.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And Ayurveda did traditionally evolve in India. But I love it so much because it transcends regionality. Ayurveda is literally the study of how to live in harmony with nature. And knowing that nature is within us.
Yes.
And without us, or outside of us.
Yes.
And one of the main principles in Ayurveda is the concept of the three doshas, being Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And if we go deeper into that layer, and I love Ayurveda because we get into layers and layers and layers of knowledge.
It just keeps going.
It does. It just keeps going. And so if you've never heard of the three doshas are composed from the 5 Mahabhutas, which is the 5 elements. And you have what you make Kapha dosha. Kapha dosha is made from earth, and it's made from water.
Yeah.
And so if you think of all of the qualities of earth, like what do you think of?
Grounding, stability. Yeah.
Yes.
Nurturing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All of those like heavy, unctuous qualities. And I always love to imagine the combination of those elements. If I combine water and earth, I get wet mud. Right? And so Kapha is really wet mud. It's like where the seeds grow. It's like that nourishment, that unctuousness. And then you have Pitta dosha. And Pitta is a combination of water and fire. And again, here, if we think of like the qualities of fire and water, it's like heat, right? Spicy. Yes. Spicy. Moving, right? And also and so if we think about it from perspective of again combining those qualities, we're thinking hot water, and hot water it's not as stable as wet mud. It's moving, right? And so Pitta governs transformation. It governs metabolism. And then if we combine for that third dosha, being Vata dosha, we combine space and air.
Yeah.
And space and air it's light, it's flowing, it's random.
Yeah.
It might flow this way and that way.
Yeah.
And so yeah, the all 5 elements make up the three doshas. But I do always want to say, like, you know, you might see like quizzes around there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a Vata, Pitta, Kapha. And there's like, you know, truth to that. But I always tell people we all have all three.
Yeah. Yes.
All of us. The Kapha is in your bones. The Pitta is in your digestion.
Yeah.
And the Vata is usually in the mind.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Yeah.
You explained that so beautifully. And like, I know that, yes, from all three of them, I'm definitely a lot of Vata and I'm probably Vata Pitta. And what I love about Ayurveda, I dabble in it. I know that when I eat aligned with my dosha, then I feel so much better.
Yes.
When I eat a lot of cold food, I love cold foods, which is kind of challenging. I love smoothies and acai bowls and all those things, but I know it's not good for my dosha. So, when I eat aligned with my dosha, when I eat the oatmeal and when I, eat warm foods, I feel so much better and I feel so much more grounded. If I go and have a smoothie, I'm like, just like all over the place. And I think that is what I love about Ayurveda is it teaches you how to get to know your own body, because in this culture, I feel like there's such a disconnection between our minds and our bodies. And then you also get to know how can I best take care of my body, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I love that you went into the food because, yes, I love food. I've been a foodie for my whole life, like my whole life. I thought I was going to be a chef. And, well, I cook. I have Grab and Grow that yes.
Yeah.
But going back to, like, that importance of eating according to your dosha and, more importantly, intuitive eating.
Yeah.
Because Ayurveda really is, like, one of the main principles here, again, is, like, listen to your body. Like, and I don't think I had really, really listened to my body until I started studying Ayurveda.
Yeah.
Like, I remember in school we would have to take these daily journals after every single meal. And it was like before and after the meal, where we'd be like, okay, how am I feeling before? How am I feeling after? And then we would read our pulse.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was like mind-blowing just to see like the changes. If I had a hot meal, if I had a cold meal, like what were the changes that were happening in my body? And so if we talk about like what are those foods that are good for Vata, Pitta, or Kapha? So a Kapha individual benefits more from those lighter foods. But there's a big thing here. Kapha is cold. Wet mud is cold. So is Vata.
Yeah.
And so the natural balancing for a Kapha dosha is that warmer food. While Pitta it benefits from a little bit more of the raw vegetables, right? A little bit of the cooler qualities, the mints, the aloe veras, the cucumbers, and the tomatoes.
To kind of simmer the fire a little bit.
Exactly. And then while Vata wants the grounding, nourishing, so slightly hot, but at the same time not lighter foods like crackers or a smoothie. They want something like an oatmeal, like it's the grounding. And then it's also like, yes, these are, I love to tell people, like, these are constantly flowing energies, right? Right now we're in fall, right? And so we're entering this Vata season. It's getting colder outside. People naturally gravitate towards warmer foods.
Yeah.
Like, more nourishing soups and stews, maybe like sourdough bread. Like, those are things that are like, just a hug.
Yeah.
You go into summer, it's like hot soup in the summer. Yeah, you might do it. But you're probably gravitating more naturally towards like...
Right.
Like like a cold cucumber salad or, like a salad and all these things. And so it's yes, incorporating like what our natural dosha is. Again, here we all have all three, but we all have like these levels of, I have more Vata, Kapha, Pitta in me than other ones, and balancing those. And you might be like super Vata in your 20s, but then you enter your 30s and you're Pitta. And we could talk about like cycles of the doshas as we live as well.
Yeah, I love this conversation so much because on my spiritual journey, I feel like the coming back home into my body has been a huge part of that, because when we are spiritual in nature, sometimes we tend to really focus on, being up here in the 6th and 7th chakras and, ooh, what's going on up in the ethers, right? That's also like very Vata as well. but coming back into the body is also a form of spirituality and connection. And I say this all the time on the show, we are here on earth at this time for a reason. And so how do you feel your spirituality has kind of evolved or expanded through the connection to the body and food and the earth and all these things that we're talking about?
I love that question so much. I was never religious growing up. I always rejected, like my parents are Catholic, and I mean, at first, like I would do what I was told, and there came a point where I was like, I just don't want to go to church. I don't want to go to church. And my mom would be like, well, what do you believe in then? And I kept telling her, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what resonates. I don't know I don't know. Like, I know there's something out there. Like, but I don't know what that is. And I told her, when I'll resonate with it. And I explored, like, Buddhism and Hinduism and all the, and like parts of, just being a Catholic is, growing up. And I want to connect this to meditation because I think that when I started meditating and dabbling into yoga and all these other spiritual traditions, I think that what I learned the most was, like, God is within me rather than looking at something out there. And today, I studied 4 years under a shaman, and her name is Natalie Cruz. Beautiful, beautiful woman. And I realized through that, like, just this deeper, deeper, deeper connection to God, Goddess, all that is, that which has no name and is known by many names. And that it is not something out there. It is, but it's also here. And I think that has been something that, like, just always brings me back into that grounded state of, like, God is everything, the universe, whatever you want to call it. It's literally everything. Like, and so living in that perspective that, like, I am experiencing myself through everyone that I meet. Through everything that I experience, and bringing in, like, I love, like, sacred rituals, and not in just, like, don't get me wrong, I love, like, like a beautiful altar and all the things, but, like, bringing in sacred to everything that I do. Like, from, getting ready in the morning to putting my socks to eating to, like, and it comes back to that concept of gratitude of I am alive, but not in a, okay, I'm so grateful, but, like, how do I even describe, like, the feeling embodiment of, like, a knowing, a remembering that I wasn't here, this physical manifestation, Rocio, and I won't be here at one point. And my life as Rocio is, like, this tiny, and, like, the grand perspective of life on this planet, on the universe. And so, like, if I'm only alive for, like, this tiny bit, like, what am I going to do with it? And like, just bringing in intuition into everything, like, the people that I come into contact with and the foods that I'm eating, like, this is my vessel right now. And how am I going to treat it? And I always, like, there's this concept, like, in Ayurveda, or not concept, but, like, we had a case study one time, and we were talking about, like, there was this woman that was high in Pitta dosha, and she also had like high Kapha dosha going on, and she was a woman who did a lot of service work. And she worked in nonprofits, and so she was working all the time, and in a space of giving out energy to the world. And we were talking about like, okay, so what type of recommendations should we give her? Like, should she stop eating sweets? Should she, reduce, kapha, foods? And I think it's like, I love like the way that the conversation evolved, because it was like, Ayurveda is not just about like the literal food that she's consuming. Yes, like you're thinking logically, like she should probably eat less sweet in her life. But sweet also is balancing to the emotional heart. And so if she's incorporating this sweetness because she's giving so much, like that is also balancing to her. So we're not going to recommend that. We're going to recommend these other kapha balancing recommendations to help with that. And so when I speak of food as medicine, food is literally medicine. There's not one or thing that is good or bad. And yes, of course, there are like a lot of processed and, high sugar and all the things that we know are not good for us. But if in that moment, like it feels like it's like, okay, this is nourishing to me. Like in my heart, like, okay, more of an energetic level. Like, I think that is important to honor. And obviously, like, not ignoring the logical mind and saying, like, hey, if you eat all these sweet foods all the time, it's probably not a good thing for you. But yeah.
Wow. You just dropped so much wisdom there, and so many aha moments just came through as you were speaking. And the first one of them was just that connection to the sweets and the heart. And I think about our society, our Western culture, and how there's this addiction to sugar, right? And so and I know from the energy work that I do, I know you know this too, there's a disconnection from the heart in our culture and our Western society. And so that's perpetuates the addiction to the sweets. And so what can we do? Like, yes, you're doing that unconsciously, right, to balance out your energy. And at the same time, what can I do to take care of myself, to nurture myself, to love myself so I don't have to eat all the sweets all the time? Wow.
Exactly. Yes. You just gave me goosebumps when you said that. Because it's so true. It's so true. And, it's like those are the people that need sweetness in their life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful. And yeah, your story, it resonates so much with me too, because I was also raised Catholic, and I had a similar conversation with my dad. He's like, why don't you go to church anymore? And I was like, because being outside is church to me. And so it's like on your journey, and I feel like this is for everybody, we have to find, again, what really resonates with us. Some people really love and resonate with going to church. Some people it doesn't work. So we really need to just be open to let people do and experience what feels best for them and their system.
Absolutely.
And just everything you shared, again, it just brought to light how aligned you are with your soul. I just love to see that. I love to see when people are really living aligned with their truth and following their passion and doing the things that really light them up. And so I kind of just see everything you shared today on the show, this little trail of breadcrumbs that you've been following. And this is something that I feel is so important for everyone to listen to. It's like finding, and it wasn't just like, boom, one day you woke up and I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner and a yoga teacher and da-da-da. It's like, no, you started with meditation, and then that led you to being interested in yoga, and you had your cards, right? So it's like you just followed the trail, and then that led to this, ultimately your expansion into your purpose and your passion and sharing your incredible gifts with the world. So it's so lovely to see. I'd love to also come back around to community, because that is something I see you doing so much, bringing our community together in new and different ways, in ways that we're not used to gathering together. And that's almost like what it felt like on the equinox when we had that gathering. It felt like this full day ceremony where we were just celebrating the earth and each other and connecting with people that maybe we don't normally get to spend that much time with, and getting to know each other better. So I do see you, I see you as having this big heart and passion for bringing community together. So yeah, I'd love for you to share like what inspires that, and how do you feel like people can heal through community?
Yeah. I think that one of some of the most profound healings that I have experienced has been in community circles.
Yeah.
Like just taking a moment to be witnessed by other humans in a safe, non-judgmental way has been so healing for me. And experiencing like cacao ceremonies and yoga initiation ceremonies and like inner child workshops, like all of that, like, yes, you know, doing the work individually, meditating and yoga, eating healthy, all the things, but just people. I love people. I resonate with people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like I love bringing people together. I think that's something really fun, and then allowing people to share their own gifts and share them and heal through that. And so like my intention for that day was like a space for people to come together, but also a space for healers to receive.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times we're giving, and then it's like, well, receive.
Yeah.
Also take that time.
I feel like I received so much from that day, and it stayed with me. It wasn't like, oh, that was awesome, and I went to bed, I woke up in the morning. No, that high vibrational frequency, it was with me. It still is with me. Like I think about that day and it just lights up my heart. And so the intention you had behind that day and bringing together community, it came to fulfillment. Absolutely, 1000%. And I also feel like this is really an important topic right now, because in our world where there is so much separation, not just like mentally and emotionally, but physically, right? And we have this world that's very, technologically advanced. And so it's really easy to just sit behind your computer and hop on a Zoom call with somebody or whatever. But that in person, like human to human, energetic exchange is so important to us humans. We are meant to work together in community, right? We're meant to come together. And so when someone is like stepping onto the spiritual path or starting their healing journey, I feel like that community piece of it is sometimes something that people want to avoid, or they're embarrassed, or they push it away, right? So I feel like what you spoke to is so important in bringing people together. It can create profound healing experiences that you can't receive on your own, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to touch on that point that you made about just the collective experiencing just fear, loneliness, even anger, all of these like just emotions that are tough and negative, and it feels like the world is heavy. And those are things that are happening. It is a reality.
Yeah.
And so it is even more important now to come together in spaces to move that energy out, to find space for ourselves to heal with others. And I remember like that day, like there's a beautiful woman towards the end. We were sitting in the despacho ceremony, which is like a prayer bundle, and we were doing a community one, and
that was incredible, by the way.
It was so beautiful.
I never had a despacho ceremony, and it was so beautiful.
It was. I loved it.
What does that mean? Can we?
So it's an Andean traditional, and I don't know what the word means, but it's a prayer bundle.
Yeah.
And so you can do them on your, like, for yourself, or you can do like a family one, or you can do a community one. And that day we were doing a community bundle.
Yeah.
And I was like, we were all like, you know, doing our wishes, right? And I look across the room and I see this woman that's in community with us, and I see the pain that she's experiencing, and that she hasn't released it, and that she's holding on to it. And so I like run across and I just give her a hug.
Yeah.
And then I just feel her release, and you know, just tearing up. And yeah.
I'm getting emotional. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, because it's like those are the moments that allow people to feel like they're not alone.
Yeah.
Like the pain that I am carrying, I don't have to carry it anymore.
Yes.
I can let it go.
Yes.
And I have somebody that supports me and holds me. And so that's the power of community. That yes, we can do the journaling on ourselves on our own, and that's equally as important. And again, here going back to like that intuitive wisdom, like you know what you need. And that might be journaling one day, but that might be you know, a community event, or even like sister time. With friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful. And I loved that ceremony because we all had these rose petals, and we were speaking our wishes for ourselves, for our family, and for our community, and for the planet. We were speaking our wishes, like whispering our wishes into these petals, and then we all put them together on this big piece of tissue paper, and we all made an offering. And it's like, I think you or Bessie said it, it's like we're creating a universe, our own universe with our wishes. And then we all bundled it all up together, and it was sent down the river. So it was like we made an offering to the earth, like, let our wishes come true, please.
Yes.
And it was so magical. That whole ceremony was really beautiful. The whole day was beautiful. We keep talking about this day, but it was just so magical. So I feel like, yeah, that community and knowing that you're not alone, that's a beautiful point that you brought up, because that is something that I felt for so long as I was growing up and experiencing all the things that I experienced. And I think that is something really common that people experience, is feeling alone. Like nobody else gets it. Nobody else understands it. Nobody else feels this bad or feels this way that I do. And when we come together in community, then we know I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And we can feel that human to human connection. And it's another part of this human experience. This human experience is, yes, being in a physical body, and it's also learning to connect with other humans, learning from other humans just in general. So I feel like all of that is so important, and it's something that I just see, yes, shining through your soul and what you're offering and what you're giving to our community and to the planet. So thank you, Rocio. Does that feel complete? Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience, or something that's on your heart?
I think that I just want to say, like, to whoever's listening, just follow your intuition.
Yeah.
And at the same time, as I said that, I got the feeling of, I feel like a lot of the times if we're, you know, feeling a negative emotion and we let it marinate too long, like So yes, feel that intuition, feel the negative emotions, feel all, the colors of the spectrum of who we are. But I also want to say, like, you are incredibly powerful beings. And it's important to know that, acknowledge it, and also act on it. Because I think that right now I feel like I want to say, especially in this space of like spirituality, health, wellness, healers, like we have been taught that like things like manifestation are things that we can just kind of sit around and like, well, all this abundance is just going to come to me, or all my heart's desires, and I just have to do absolutely nothing.
Right.
No.
No.
I'm sorry. Like, there might be people out there that like will totally disagree with me, but this is what I've realized, that it's so important to match the vibration with action.
Yes.
And move through life in those ways that feel good. Because if you're sitting in your couch manifesting things, nothing, you might manifest
totally.
like, a cup of water.
Yeah.
If you go to the kitchen and you pour it, But,
it's going to be the best cup of water, though.
Exactly. It is. With love and intention and all the good vibes. For sure. But, like, just go out and create and explore, like, and going back to, like, the community.
Yeah.
Talking with other people, experiencing things, like, doing the work. And one thing that my shamanic teacher references is the spiritual warrior. And the spiritual warrior, like, thinking of that word spirituality is something like kind of soft, etheric, and a warrior. A warrior trains. A warrior is ready.
Yeah.
And so that is my little nugget there.
Oh, I love that. And that I agree with you so much, because sometimes in the spiritual world, we do get all caught up in, I got to take care of my energy. This isn't happening to me because of my energy, and there's something wrong with me. Well, the thing that needs to happen is the action. And we're meant to take our passion, take the things that light up our soul, and do something about it.
Yes. And I love the way, because energy, I'm like, needs to be in motion. And so when we're transforming and we want to move the energy, if we're feeling stuck, if we're feeling anger, if we're feeling fear, all these negative emotions, like, we got to move them.
Yes.
And yes, you can sit in meditation and work through those things.
Yeah.
And that is important. I'm not saying it's not. But move.
Yeah.
Going back to that physical body.
Wow.
Like that earth
just came full circle.
Yes, exactly. That beautiful earth goddess, because we are here.
Yeah.
We are all beautiful earth goddesses.
We are.
And so, like, we got to move this physical body. And, yes, it can mean exercise and all these things, but it can also mean a conversation with a friend.
Yeah.
It's just about transmuting and moving that energy.
Yeah.
In a way.
Wow.
That is releasing it.
Yeah, so we are meant to not only nurture and love and take care of this human body, we're meant to move it.
Yes.
We're meant to do something with it. Wow.
There's, my brother actually would say this, but, and like, my brother's like not spiritual and not into any of this stuff, but like this thing that he said, it always like, I'm like, oh yeah. Like, oh my God, why am I spacing it right now? Hold on. Life, like, movement is life.
Yeah. Wow.
Movement is life. Like,
wow.
A seed is moving, it's growing, and then it, and then it dies and it turns into like, compost, and then another seed. Like, that's probably a lot more steps in between there. But still, like,
it's moving.
Our sun, it's like, it's shining bright and it's on its phase to dying. And so is our, like, it's all moving.
Yeah.
And so are we.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, Rocio, I love this conversation so much. This is one of those episodes that we're going to want to listen to over and over again because there was so much knowledge and little nuggets that were dropped in throughout the whole thing. And yeah, I feel like I received so much from this, and I know that the audience will too. So I'd love for you to share, how can people connect with you, Rocio? Where can they find you?
Yeah, absolutely. Would we be able to tag some of like the Instagram handles and all of that?
Yeah,
Like,
I'll put your handles and your website and everything in the show notes so people can see. But yeah, if you just want to share right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me at Instagram, Facebook, all the things. It's Gula Wellness.
Gula Wellness.
Yeah, and Gula is it's so funny. I'm doing like a little talk on or like a video on like what is Gula. So, but it's a Sumerian goddess of like earth goddess of health and wellness. Also means sweet in Indonesian. And then to overindulge in Spanish. So it's like all these like different meanings as we were talking. But basically, yeah, so you can find me in Gula Wellness. Our podcast is the Ayurveda podcast, a little pun on Ayurveda. So Ayurveda.
Awesome.
And then I also, if you are looking for healthy meals, you can find us at grabandgrow.co. But we'll link all those. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you are such a beautiful gift to our community. Thank you for being on the show. And we love you guys. We love this audience. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share this content with someone you feel might need it. The more we share, the more this grows and expands, and the more we get the high vibration just circulating throughout the whole planet. More love is more better.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Dana.